Hi, I'm Tim Draper, and I'm honored to be able to present here at the Monaco CC Forum. I'm sorry I'm not there with all of you. I love Monaco. It's an extraordinary place with zero income tax, personal income tax, and I know that that's extraordinary for entrepreneurs, for investors, for better ways for a society to operate. Well, what I thought I'd talk about were trust and freedom, because I have found that trust just works in any governance, in any company, in any ecosystem. And freedom is necessary for all innovation. You really need to allow entrepreneurs to be free, to experiment, to try different things, and to not be overly imposed on by government regulations. And my best examples of those are in trust. It's Singapore. They started out as one of the poorest countries in the world, and they became one of the richest countries in the world just because Lee Kuan Yew built trust into their system one brick at a time. Freedom is the best example of freedom is, I believe, in Korea, where after the war, they put up the demilitarized zone to separate North from South Korea. North Korea, of course, was Marxist, Leninist philosophy. It was government control. Government decided how everybody would operate, what they would do, what they would eat, all of that. And South Korea was a free market democracy, open system with capitalist values. And here we are 70 years later, and the average South Korean now makes 460 times what the average North Korean makes, and that's after accounting for purchasing power. And the average South Korean is now 4 inches taller than the average North Korean. So this is so trust and freedom are the two real cornerstones of any great economy. So why do I talk about trust and freedom? Well, because Bitcoin is all about trust and freedom. It's trusted in that that the blockchain is all supported by algorithm. So people don't need to trust that that third party that is a bank, or that government that prints money whenever they feel like it. And and it's free in that it can move across borders very easily. It can it's open, it's transparent because it all happens on the blockchain. It's global and decentralized in that it's a currency that's not tied to a government of any kind. It's not tied to any political force. I had a friend in Argentina, and he said that his family had created a fortune 3 times and then lost it to currency manipulation in Argentina. And he said, and I'm only 30 years old. So every decade, the Argentinian government has basically wiped out people's hard work just with currency manipulation. And so suddenly you've got a currency where you know it can't be manipulated. 21 million Bitcoin is all there will be out there. And so I look and I say, well, that is a currency that can be trusted, and it is free. It is open and transparent and global, and people can move from country to country with their Bitcoin. They can send Bitcoin overseas. They can send remittances. They can pay employees that are overseas. It's a fabulous vehicle for all of us to grow the world economy. And so we're all going to be better off because of Bitcoin. Well, there's been some, and I know Monaco is very concerned about energy use, CO2 emissions, all of the green issues, and are there green opportunities? And I would say, interestingly, Bitcoin is one of those. And people say, well, what about all these altcoins? Well, Bitcoin actually can operate cheaper on energy than any of those other altcoins, and Bitcoin is far more energy efficient than the banks. So you have a new vehicle now that is quite extraordinary. And it's doing a couple of things. One is it's allowing all this new innovation in green technology because all these Bitcoin miners are out finding new forms of energy, new ways of finding low cost energy, and they're doing it mostly with alternatives. And then over time, the amount of energy required to throw a switch will continue down, just as Moore's law makes it so that $1,000 compute power doubles every 18 months. The same kind of thing happens as the amount of energy to throw a switch dropped from 5 volts to 3 volts to 1.8 volts to 1.3 volts, and it has continued down over time. And that will happen. And so Bitcoin will allow for a lot of green energy, a lot of interesting new energy sources, and over time it will require less and less energy. And people say, well, yeah, but it costs so much to move money on the blockchain. Well, yeah, but there are all these new innovations around OpenNode and the Lightning Network that are allowing the switching speeds of the Visa network with very little energy usage. They actually take it off the blockchain, and then they make all those changes, and then they move it back onto the blockchain. So this is, it's very exciting. Now, why do I care about Bitcoin? Well, I'm hoping that down the road that I can raise a fund, put the whole thing completely into Bitcoin, invest the money in Bitcoin, invest into all the portfolio companies in Bitcoin, and have them pay their employees and suppliers all in Bitcoin, and have the entire system using maybe Cryptio keep perfect records without any accounting, no auditing, no bookkeeping, and keep it all on a smart contract so that you don't have any disputes amongst lawyers. This is a unique opportunity for humanity to take this anthropological leap to where we have full trust, full freedom, and we don't require all of these checks and balances, because the blockchain keeps perfect records without the accountants, the lawyers, the auditors, the bookkeepers. So this is really an exciting time. I think we're going into here. We're seeing a time where people can invest, perfect records can be kept, and governments can tax automatically. The taxes on Bitcoin could be absolutely automatic, whether it's on transactions or it's on income, the way most corporate income taxes work. So that's where I'm putting a lot of my investing efforts, right into Bitcoin and all the things around it, the decentralized world, the NFT world. I think that we're going into a time where venture capital investing is going to take on entirely new forms. And the old model for venture capital investing is going to be transformed. Maybe it becomes tokenized. Maybe there are new forms of shareholders. And as an investor, I think it's smart for you to look into new models and new ways of doing things. We are we are pioneering at Draper Associates. We're pioneering a lot of these. And if you need to reach me, I'm tim@draper.vc. Thank you so much, CC Monaco. I'm sorry again that I'm not there. I would have loved to have seen and met all of you. And I wish you all the best for a great conference.